If you want to know how much a man loves you, ask him for money. Well, don't directly ask him for money, but present a financial problem. The truth is that men love solving problems for the women that they love. They do not do any financial transactions to the women that they love. So if you present him a problem and he doesn't offer you a solution, run in the other direction. And I don't mean solution as in he tells you to take out your own money from the bank and pay it. I mean he offers you a solution where he is solving your problem. And actually this applies even for men that are maybe not there yet and maybe doesn't have money, but you'll see that he's making an effort to solve your problem. And then he's a keeper.
Day one. He was on welfare and she was working full time to help that man out.
And then she got cheated on. Someone under this video asked me, Michelle, would you be willing to date a guy that's working towards his dreams? And I said yes. And you guys might be like, oh my gosh, Michelle, you said yes to being with a guy that's working towards his dreams? And let me tell you why I said yes. Just because you are with a man that is working towards his dreams does not mean that you need to leave yours. Does not mean that you have to live in poverty. Does not mean that you have to support him financially. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that a woman being with a man that's working towards his dreams means that she is supporting him financially. That she needs to be with him from when he literally has $0 in his bank account. But guess what? You can find a man that is established and still support him to reach his dreams. When I met my boyfriend, he was driving a Tesla. And 1.5 years later, he's driving a car that's worth almost $1 million. And I didn't support him financially. I was there to tell him that I knew that he could. To tell him that he's a winner. To make his days brighter after a hard day of work. His dream car is actually $3 million. And you best believe I'm going to be there supporting him and telling him that he can do it. You don't need to go through hell to be a supportive woman and help your man and support your man to reach his dreams. Unfortunately, Conor McGregor's wife did. And even though she did, she still got cheated on. And people might be saying, well, she's rich now. Okay, yeah, she got the finances out of it, but she does not have his respect. Even though he literally says he would not be who he is and where he's at without his woman, he still doesn't respect her. Also, let's remember that she's an exception. Because most women that help men grow from the ground up, the whole, oh, if she's with you building from the ground up, she deserves it all, is just another phrase that men say to you so you can waste your time on them. So you can waste your money on them. So you can waste your youth on them. So once they get to where they want to be, they can leave you for their dream girl. For the girl that's going to support them emotionally.
Remember, honey, cheap prices attract cheap people. When it comes to dating, if you're saying yes to like Subway or, I don't know, coffee or like a walk in the park instead of a proper date, just don't be surprised when this is a man who is not willing to invest in you, is not willing to provide for you at any point in the relationship, and continues being cheap the entire time you're dating him.
You get with these guys who have a lot of money, like they're gonna cheat on you, they're gonna abuse you.
Let's talk about the scarcity mindset keeping you from succeeding in high-value dating. I got a lot of blowback from women when I said that it is much safer to be with a man who has means versus a man who does not have means. Statistics show that it is true, and my experience shows that it is true. It's so hard when people think in absolutes like black or white. I never said that men who have means never ever engage in whatever form of abuse. Men who abuse are like men who cheat. Doesn't matter how much money they make, how much money they have, what you do, they will abuse. Like, abusers will always abuse. Cheaters will always cheat. The reason why I'm speaking up about this is that when people tell you, oh, be careful, if you marry for money, you're gonna get this done to you, it's scarcity mindset. If you're a high-value woman, you will account for everything. You will always move in discernment. You will arm yourself with the financial tools, with the financial knowledge to not be in a position to be financially abused. When you recognize signs of financial abuse, you're out, you dip. When you recognize insecurity in a man, you know that that's a sign that he will physically abuse you. I know this is a sensitive topic and it triggers a lot of women that when you hear certain trigger words, you stop listening to the rest of it. Like I always say, always be in discernment. Every topic has so much nuance and you can account for it in 1 minute, 3 minute videos. ultimately, the goal is to make the very best decisions for yourself. So if you can't analyze situations on a case-by-case basis, you're not going to thrive. The thing about observations is that they tend to be generalizations. And your observations are influenced by your environment and the people that you move around. So if all you're seeing is bad things in other people's relationships, you need to be around new people. Because what I'm seeing good relationships. I'm seeing happy women. I'm seeing women who are taken care of. I'm seeing women going to Pilates at 10:30 a.m. on a work day. I'm seeing women having weekly meetings with their girlfriends talking about their financial investments. If you're not seeing that, you need to be around new people. Because whatever your perception of the world is in your head, that will be your reality. It's kind of like people's perception with money. They're saying that, oh, money doesn't buy everything. Only bad people have money. Only unethical people have money. Guess what happens to those people who have that mindset? They stay broke because they have a negative relationship with money. So if you have this negative mindset about men who are able and willing to protect and provide for you, you will never attract one.
If no one's ever told you, rejection is built into dating. Like, you're going to reject people, people are going to reject you. More important to understand is that rejection is going to be almost a bigger part of your dating experience for most people than getting it right. Dating is one of those few things that are really only meant to be done right once, in the sense that ideally you would find your one, get married, and spend the rest of your lives together. So that's a one out of how many that you get it right. The rest of the time, some kind of rejection takes place. And the reason I think it's so healthy to have this understanding is because I think people get really down on rejection because they tend to internalize it as though it means something is wrong with them. When in reality, rejection is excellent while you're dating because it means that you're eliminating people or getting eliminated before you make a potentially life-altering decision to walk down the aisle and have children with someone. So instead of being hurt, tired, exhausted, jaded by rejection, just say, wow, this dating thing is working. I'm learning about people. And every time I learn, I get closer and closer to who I want to be and who I actually want. That will make dating a lot more enjoyable for you, because you won't be so focused about getting a certain outcome. You'll understand that dating is a process, an evaluation process, dating to collect data, and it'll free you from a lot of the stigma, hurts, self-blame, etc. that comes with rejection.
But where are all the good men? All the good men are taken. Where can I find them? Bestie, they're everywhere. The same guy who is offering you coffee dates is taking another girl on vacation. But I will say that not every guy can treat you the way that you want to be treated, because the fact of the matter is only men who view you as their dream girl are able to really love, cherish, and spoil you. So you can work on being your best self. You can be in your feminine energy. You can be a high value woman, and you'll probably get better treatment in life and from men. But if you want the relationship that you really want, there's no convincing a man to treat you better. There is no proving yourself to him. There is no chasing after him to want you back. As much as he is your type, you need to be his type too. And if you're not, it's okay. You're someone else's dream girl. My fiance absolutely adores me, never wants me to lift a finger, truly wants to take care of every aspect of my life, and I love him so much. But I also know that not every man is capable of treating me the way that he treats me. That's all.
The easiest way to keep a wealthy man interested is by not betraying him. Your mind probably went straight to infidelity. Of course, don't do that. But that's not what I'm talking about. When you first meet a guy, you're probably looking your best, right? And believe it or not, men feel betrayed if you let yourself go. So you need to keep yourself within the best shape, within the best mindset, within reasons. Like, keep yourself looking like the best version of yourself, because believe it or not, men feel so betrayed if you let yourself go. It's the most bizarre thing, but it's true. Next, you need to be a dynamic person. Keep him on his toes. An example would be, the other day I told my boyfriend, I'm gonna be a pilot. I'm gonna get my pilot's license. Just for funsies. So I was like trying a new activity, right? Just like keep trying new things and be an interesting person, be dynamic. 3, this is going to sound so counterintuitive, but let go of thinking, how do I keep him interested? If you're worried if your boyfriend doesn't like you anymore, that's gonna push him away. That energy is going to repel him because you're gonna be feeling insecure and gross. Don't do that. He probably likes you because you're a confident woman and you're secure in your self-worth and who you are as a person. I personally like affluent men because they usually tend to be very smart. Majority of the time, I have very high self-esteem, but I'm not a perfect person. So if I catch myself slipping up worrying about my boyfriend leaving me or something, I think he's a really smart guy. Obviously, he wouldn't be foolish enough to break up with me, and it works. Also, one last thing, just be nice to your boyfriend. Just be nice to your man. Give him compliments, say thank you. They like that.
Him being a high-value man who treats you like a goddess does not necessitate that he is the man for you, does not mean that you have to have feelings for him, and you shouldn't feel guilty if you don't. So much of the time, I see women who meet their first high value or even just like healthy man. Like they meet the first man in their life who has ever actually exuded attractive, healthy characteristics. He's loyal, he's committed, he has discipline, he's courting her, he has great values, he's a man she respects, he's, financially secure, all of these things that make him an incredible man. It's the first time she's ever been around a man like that. And what happens is that she thinks that just because this man is amazing, that she has to have feelings for him or she has to make him the one. And the truth is she doesn't. And there's nothing wrong with meeting an incredible man who treats you like a goddess and knowing that he's not the one for you and saying, oh, let's go our separate ways. I'm so glad I met you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. You're incredible. But I just don't feel that chemistry or that other spark that's necessary on top of all of those other good qualities. And so often you see women be so rude to other women if they reject a high quality man or a high value man. But I actually think that comes from lack mindset and scarcity mindset, because the truth is there's so many amazing men in the world, and just because this one man is amazing doesn't make him the man for you. Just because I'm an amazing woman doesn't mean that every man that meets me, I'm the woman for them. I'm not. I remember a while back, I saw a video and women were dogpiling on this girl. But basically what she said was that a man being a good man isn't enough. You also have to make sure that he's the man for you, have that spark, have the chemistry, whatever. And just because he's a good man doesn't mean that you need to give him a chance, that you need to date him, that you need to be with him. And girls were so mad at her. They were like, this is why you're not married. This is why you are never going to find a man. This is why men don't like women. Like, what? So just because that man is an amazing man doesn't mean he's the man for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there is something wrong with you, that you are rejecting safe and healthy love. There have been amazing men who have courted me, who have wanted to be with me, who have checked all my boxes, but they just weren't the man for me. And I rejected them. There was nothing wrong with them, but I just didn't have that spark. And they were amazing men, but I just wasn't interested. Instead of beating yourself up for not liking the first great guy who came along, instead use him as a reference and say, wow, now I know that there's amazing, high value, wonderful men out here. Can't wait to meet mine.